Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, good evening. Hope everyone's doing well. We have a new audience now. I have TikTok over here. You guys can't see them, but they're right here. TikTok over here. And and I have Facebook and YouTube and IG. Everybody, I think, is on. Um, So I want to welcome everyone to the Radiance Collective. The Radiance Collective is a collective of light workers. We come together, we work together to just feed this light that is feeding us, this Christ light within us. And I just wanted to just say that part of the reason why I come here and work this light with you guys is because I know that I have spent time in my life where I have felt like life was happening to me. Hey, Cindy. Life was happening to me, or life was I was under life's thumb. And as I've come into these New Thought Christian teachings, I have come to understand that Christ lives within me. And Christ in me isn't passive. Christ in me is there ready to do the work, if only I put it to work. So as I learn these principles, as I learn these divine laws, I then learn how to use this Christ light in order to improve my life and to improve the lives of others. Christ in you, your hope of glory, is what Paul said. Christ in me, Christ in you is your hope of glory if you know how to work it. How do you use it? How do you not just have it sit passively there? Because we're all born with that's Christ light. We're all born in the image and likeness of the divine. But if you can't use it, if you can't access it, how is it helping you live your life? If all you're doing is worshiping it and it's outside of you, how is it helping you live your life? So that's what we're here to talk about today. So, what are we talking about today? You've probably heard the phrase act as if before. Maybe you heard it from Reverend Ike. Maybe you heard it, just in random circles. You've probably seen it on Facebook or in other things. It gets thrown around a lot, especially in our New Thought circles. And sometimes it's thrown around too loosely because it can sound like a slogan instead of what it actually is. So we're going to dig a little deeper into act as if tonight, because act as if is not about pretending. It's not about faking it until you make it. And it's definitely not about lying to yourself. What it's actually pointing to is something a lot more precise. It's pointing to your subconscious mind. Because your subconscious mind doesn't necessarily believe what you tell it, it believes what it can sense. Think about how you actually come to believe anything in your everyday life. You don't believe something because you thought about it really hard one time. You believe it because you've seen it, you've touched it, you've experienced it over and over until it just became true for you. And that's how the subconscious mind works as well. It's not moved by a single sincere thought. It's moved by signal. And signal to the subconscious mind means something that the senses can register. So when we say act as if, what we're really saying is give your subconscious something it can sense. Not a wish, not a hope, not an action. Something seen, something done, something your body actually did in the physical world. It's like you're giving your subconscious some evidence. Now, this is something I used to get confused about myself, because acting isn't replacing the inner work. I'm not saying act instead of using your imagination. Imagination is one of our 12 powers. It is not a placeholder for something real. Imagination is that faculty within us that shapes substance into form. Imagination is where the vision gets built. Action is where it gets confirmed. So it's not imagination or action. It's both of them together doing two different jobs. Imagination is faith forming on the inside, and action is faith showing up on the outside, where the senses, and honestly the world senses too, can finally register it. Now, I know there are people here that know their Bible, because we are a Bible-based New Thought community. And you may have, as I've been talking about faith, thought about Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And you might be wondering, if faith is already evidence, why do I need to act on anything at all? And here's how I've made it make sense in my head. So that verse is talking about something faith already is. You already have the evidence, right? It's not seen. It's evidence of something not seen. But the shape, you using the imagination, and you are creating it internally. So you don't need to see it from your physical eyes first. You're using your faith eyes. You're using that perception here. That is faith sight. That's not in question here. So I'm not saying that you have to do action, that your action is needed in order to replace faith. But faith is not rooted in the subconscious mind, right? Faith is going to, your faith is going, what you have faith in is based on what you have in your subconscious mind, which is dominant there. And your subconscious mind is like a servant. It takes what is already established and real. It takes what's already established in the subconscious and starts building it out into form. And that servant doesn't work off of conviction. It works off of signal. It needs something it can sense. It needs something that makes sure that it is the dominant thing. How do you make sure a thought is a dominant thing? One way we do that is through repetition. You can repeat an affirmation over and over and over again. That's one way to impress the subconscious mind. But if you really want to make sure that you are implanting that thought, implanting that affirmation, action. Action is what gives it a turbocharge. So it's not that action replaces faith or proves that you really didn't have enough faith. Faith is the evidence of things not seen. Action is what gives the unseen its signal, something real for the senses and the subconscious to take hold of. So it's two different jobs. Faith doesn't need action to be real. But if that substance is ever going to move from the inner pattern to the outer demonstration, something has to carry it across the line. And that's what action does. It's not generating the faith, it's translating it. And I just want to add that the way God works is God doesn't drop a BMW in your driveway. God doesn't drop $50,000 into your account. What God does is drops ideas into your mind on how those things will show up in your life. And what do you have to do when an idea comes to you? You have to act on that idea. And this is why I wanted to talk about this tonight, because I'm in a room full of people here on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube, who've been affirming and praying and journaling and speaking the word for years. Some of us for decades, and still some of what we've been standing on hasn't shown up yet. And for a lot of us, I want us to know it's not that the practice doesn't work. It's that you've only been doing part of it. Some of us has been strong in the inner work. We pray, we affirm, we visualize, we speak it into the atmosphere, but our daily life isn't really moving. Nothing on the outside has changed to match what we're declaring on the inside. And then other folks flip it, where we've been all action, moving and grinding and doing, but there's no real inner pattern guiding it. So the action doesn't have anything to root in and plant itself in. Hey, Richard. Either way, half the work is still half the work. The subconscious does not get changed by a good affirmation alone. And it doesn't get changed by busyness alone. And I know that I have run into this frustration, which is why I wanted to talk about it tonight. Because I've been working on my health. And why can't I just do the simple things? It's really simple to get your health in order. Why? I've been praying about it. I've been saying I'm waiting for the divine idea. I've been doing stuff, hit or miss. But what I realize is I need to do them together. Pray and move your feet is what they say. Because real and lasting change is where the two meet. Where the inner pattern that you're building and the outer signal that you're giving line up and start reinforcing each other. So that may be the piece that's missing for you. Not more faith, not more effort. Both together pointed at the same vision. So tonight, that's where we're going to practice. We're going to do the inner work first, the imagining, the seeing, the sensing of the thing that we want. And then we're going to come back out of that imagining and we're going to ask, what is one small, repeatable action that will give this vision its signal? Not a big leap, but the small proof. Doesn't have to be a big thing. It can be a small thing. So let's get comfortable. We're going to go into our meditation here. Get into a comfortable position. Your feet on the floor, or maybe you're sitting cross-legged. Relax your shoulders. And if you feel comfortable, you can close your eyes. Let's take in a breath together. Breathe in and let it out. One more time, breathe in and let it out. Now let's get in a relaxed state. Starting at the top of our head, we're going to feel this warm light begin to cover your entire scalp and move across your face. Feeling warmth and relaxation. Feel this light move its way down your throat and your neck. Breathing deeply. This warm, relaxing light moves to your shoulders, down your chest and upper back, your biceps and triceps. Your whole torso is just bathed in this light. Relaxed. This light moves over your hips, your lower abs, across your thighs, your forearms that are sitting on your thighs, your hands, fingers. Just breathe easy into this light. This light moves down to your calves and your shins, across your ankles, to your feet and your toes. Your entire body is aglow with light, and you are so relaxed. So let your body settle in. Now, I'd like you to bring your mind to the thing that you desire. The thing that you want to bring into manifestation. Maybe it's been sitting with you for a while, something you've prayed about, affirmed, spoken over your life. Let it come to you now. Don't just think about it, see it. Where are you when this is already true? What does it look like? What does it feel like? This desire is real right now in your mind. Experience it. Feel into it. Bring in all of your senses. What do you hear? Is there a smell associated with this desire? Can you feel it? Is it something you can touch? Is it something you can taste? Make it so every sense is engaged. And be as detailed as you can. Be specific. Be specific. Don't be afraid to ask for what it is that you want. Just stay here with this image, with this experience that you're having. You're building this pattern. And it's important to dwell in this pattern and breathe into it for a while. Slowly start to let that image settle. You're not releasing this image, you're not releasing this experience. You're just going to sit it down Put it on a shelf. Somewhere you can pick it back up whenever you need it. And slowly bring your attention back to this present moment. Let's take a deep breath in and out. If you've closed your eyes, you can open them now. So we just did some inner work where you built that image, you created that experience of that desire that you have. You gave it enough detail for it to settle into your subconscious. So here's the question. The question is, what is one small, repeatable action that a person who is already has that desire, what would that person be doing? What is one small thing that person would be doing? If I were to say my desire is to be someone that has a sizable savings, one thing that a person who has a sizable savings would do would maybe set aside an amount of money out of their paycheck into a savings account. So I might do $10 or $25 as that first step. Not a big leap, not the whole thing. Just small proof. Just enough for your senses and your subconscious to actually register as a signal. So go ahead and write it down in your journal on a piece of paper. You can type it in the chat. Think about, what is that one thing? That one thing you can do, that action you can take. Give you a moment to write that down. Put some thought into it. I want you to be thoughtful about this. Make it something that you can actually do. I know for me, part of what I want to do in taking care of myself is making sure I get enough water. So one small thing I can do is make sure that every morning before I have my coffee, I'm going to have at least a glass of water. Before I drink anything else, before the day starts, I'm going to have at least a glass of water. It doesn't have to be big. So what did we just do? We didn't just talk about act as if. We actually practiced it. We did both sides. We went inside first, and we let our imagination work and let ourselves really see it and sense it and sit into it for a stretch of time that would allow something to actually form. That was us activating our faith and using imagination to do the first job. And then we came out and we decided to name one small, repeatable action, something our senses and our own subconscious mind can actually register as a signal. That's an act of faith as well. Doing a second job. And that is the whole practice. Again, not one or the other, both together, pointed at the same vision. So my call to action this week is that you not just write down the small action, but that you take it. That you do it tonight or tomorrow, and then you do it again the next day, and do it again the next day. And let it snowball into something that becomes a part of who you are trying to bring into existence. I'm trying to bring in that person who drinks water, who is never dehydrated. And I'm going to think about, what would she do? What would Robin, who is always hydrated, what would she do right now? And I'm going to do that because I'm telling my subconscious, this is who I really am. And the subconscious is going to start to create for you. And you'll find that your way will get easier. But you have to repeat it, because one action is just a nice moment. But it is repeated action that is a pattern. And the pattern is what gets impressed. So you don't have to do it perfectly. You don't even have to feel ready for the whole thing, because we're just talking about that one step and giving our mind something that it can sense. So take that step, and when we come back together next Sunday, I would love to see in the chat some of what you did. What did you notice? What did you start to shift? I usually send out an email during midweek to remind everybody of this practice. If you're not on my email list, please use the link that's scrolling across the screen, or you can use the QR code to join the email list. I don't spam, but I will send you a reminder in the week. And you can, if you don't feel like putting what you did in in the chat here, you can always respond to that email and let me know. What did you notice begin to shift as you take these steps? Well, I can't wait to report back to you what I see in drinking my water and becoming the Robin that is my most healthy self. So I want to thank you so much for joining me, Radiance Collective. It is my pleasure to work the light with each and every one of you. I hope that everyone has a glorious week. If you enjoyed this and you feel somebody else will, share the link with them. They weren't here live, but they can always go through the experience on their own. And just invite them to come back next week, because we're here every Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. And we'll have another activation then. But I'm going to say farewell for tonight. Have a glorious week ahead, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thank you.